You are now listening to Femme Regard Podcast with Tessa Markle
and Carolina Alvarez.
Welcome back, Femme Fam.
Hey!
Did you miss us?
Did you miss us, though? Did you? I know you bitches did.
Well, clearly y'all did, because you've all been asking where we've been. And we just literally took a holiday break like everybody does. So relax, guys.
Yeah,
we're not
relax,
missing.
relax.
We're not kidnapped. We're not quitting. We're not. We're fine. We're here.
Hell no. No, yeah, Tessa and I, oddly enough, it was funny because, you know, the planners we kind of planned our trips back home the exact same time frame pretty much. And so yeah, we both went back home east. I'm from Jersey. In case for any new listeners, we're both from the East Coast. So
Yes. And I'm from Pittsburgh.
she's from Pitts. I'm from Jersey. Yes, we did a hometown special on Patreon. If you guys haven't heard, we have this thing called Patreon. And on there we release exclusive content, some behind the scenes work, some other special little giveaways. And
I mean, we've got like downloadable content to help you with your filmmaking. We've got merch. We've got all kinds of stuff depending on how much you pay. Because it is
there's the catch.
You are paying money. It's not free, but that's literally the point. So Patreon patrons are people like you who decide to essentially subscribe to Femme. So you can start at $1, then $5, then $10, then $20. These are all different tiers that you can like subscribe to, that you're essentially just, you know, paying that monthly fee and then getting whatever it is at that tier in return. And it's been helping us a ton because
not being broke bitches. Y'all.
Yeah,
That's
like
the
pandemic
name of the game.
unemployment right now. I mean, come on. So like this is actually paying for us to continue to be able to bring you this content.
And that's why we truly love this. We love all of y'all. Like, thanks for listening. Just firstly, like we can't believe we're still doing this. And like that's I think reflecting on 2020, podcasting, doing this show, speaking to the guests that were so positive and inspirational at times where Tess and I didn't want to get out of bed. And it was a saving grace for us. So just first and foremost, huge thanks to you guys for still listening and loving what we're putting out there and giving us feedback. Like, just that it like honestly truly propels us to keep doing this and like keep trying to make it better. And that's what we try to do, filter in with our Patreon. So again, thank you to the supporters we have on there, the subscribers. I can never say that word. Subscribers. You know what? I spell it wrong all the time too. That's why.
We could just call them our subs.
Our subs.
Subs.
Like, thank you. We're always just like, oh my God, someone loves us and they're supporting. Because we know half the time too, it's we're trying to produce more content and put it back out there, but in this time where content creation is hard, we truly know that you're just doing it because you want to support your gals. So like, I know that's really like who's subscribed to us right now, our subs. They really just care about.
That sounds like a sex thing. Okay, I'm not going to go into that. Sorry.
God damn it, Tessa. Already.
Welcome to us being more candid in 2021.
I love it. I'm here for it. And again, if you are new to the show too, who are we? What do we do?
You're going to ask who are you? If you're new, who are you? Why are you listening, guys?
If you're new, we're not blabbing just to blab. We want to share our personal journeys as we tackle on the hurdles of film production. We are a 2-woman run production company and who has yet to release their first feature. It's okay. The pressure is on.
Hey. We've released some stuff, just not a feature. All right. Give us some credit.
I know, Tessa. But that's why we love having this show, because I do think something I've learned throughout this process is to fucking not give yourself that pressure of, oh my God, I still haven't done that huge project yet. And if I've learned anything, it's like timing is so critical to when you should do a project.
Mhm.
Like, are you really gonna give it justice? Like, we've learned so much. We've just had our 3-year anniversary. Woo woo. Wait, should we share what today marks too for us?
Yeah, because I want to talk a little bit about that too. Go ahead.
Okay. Today marks the 3-year anniversary of our Western. I don't know what else to call it. Our Western
Desert Flowers. That's what it's called.
Desert. Well, I know it's not a complete film. You know, it's right now it's going to be a proof of concept for us.
Yeah.
And that's a term we wouldn't have known to even call it.
Well, we called it a trailer for years because I mean it could be a trailer, but it really is more of a proof of concept.
Yes, and as you all know who have tuned in since we started this show 2 years ago, like we keep mentioning it because it was definitely, we just went for it.
Mhm.
Definitely not a project that now we look back on should have like started with, especially when you don't know really anything about producing and filmmaking. And in a way though, it taught us so much. We have zero regrets.
Mhm.
And we're actually at a place now with the editing because guys, we went through fucking roller coasters of emotions. Like, I hate this. Like, oh my God, did we just spend XYZ amount of dollars on this? And this is like where it's at. Like, freaking out about the editing, and now it's like, actually, we've learned so much. We've come such a long way. We're actually really excited about it. And yes, we will not be producing it the same way, but it's a proof of concept. And it's something we are excited about to keep working on in the future. We just realized this shouldn't be our first feature. And that's, again, like taking away that pressure of, oh my God, now that I started with this, like this has to be the one.
Yeah.
Don't be too precious with that kind of shit.
Exactly.
You know?
And that's the thing too, is like, don't be too precious, but also realize what is precious to you. Because for us, this was something we wanted to do it justice. And we knew that we could not afford to do this, even in like a full short film version justice. You know, like this proof of concept is all we can afford to do it justice.
And it's 2 minutes and taking us 3 years.
Yeah,
so.
Exactly. But that's the other thing is what you were saying about like the timing being right for stuff. The timing wasn't right then. We didn't know how to edit this the way we do now. So
Absolutely.
I am very, very glad that we just went ahead and did it. Like we learned so much from it. Fuck it, who cares? And then set it aside so that now we can perfect it and it can be something that we're really genuinely proud of. Because girl, when I watched it the other day, because we're like almost finished with it, guys, I couldn't believe it. Like I was so impressed with it. And I did not think it was going to look that good. Like I am so impressed.
No, like I had that genuine excitement to show this to the world. And that's when you know, like, it's time. Like you've gone into a place and like, I'm sure filmmakers, the ones who are tuning in, especially you guys can relate where it's like, okay, you've been so excited, you get into the editing room and then all of a sudden you just get like stuck. You're like, oh my God, do I hate this now? And then to like take a break, just take that break. Cause I swear if you pause, then reevaluate it, show it to someone who can give great critical advice that, you know, you trust. Take a breather, come back and like get excited about it again, you know, especially if it's something like Tessa said, like we are both passionate about this project. It is precious to us. Mm-hmm. So sometimes you just need that break and that pause. And especially if this is new, like a new world to you, don't worry. This is the frustrations that are gonna happen. It's inevitable. It probably will happen to every project we do. Honestly, it's never gonna be like, oh my God, I love this the whole time. Like but I'm proud of us because we haven't just dropped it and said, okay, F it. Yeah. It's not.
I like how you just censored yourself now, even though you said fuck like 20 times already.
I realized I feel like my mom's gonna tune in. Sorry, Mom. She hates it when I cuss. God bless that lady.
I mean, I guess we could start bleeping it.
Sorry, Sophia. No, she's such a great like listener, but she's always like, that language, okay, sorry, don't mean to give you that voice.
We love you, Sophia.
We love you. This will brighten her day.
But in other news, what else do we got?
I'm a mess. I'm such a wreck. Hey Geekscapists, with Valentine's Day around the corner, we've decided to hook you up. Geekscape has partnered with the video dating app Filter Off to bring you a free and fun video speed dating event on Saturday, February 13th. To take part, all you've got to do is download the Filter Off dating app to your smartphone. Find the Geekscape event and RSVP with the code GeeksLove2. That's TOO, because we do love to. You don't have to wait until Valentine's to use the app either. It's fun and free, and Matt Kelly has already racked up a ton of dates on it, so what have you got to lose? Download Filter Off, and we'll see you on February 13th. Geekscape forever.
We got a couple of things we want to tell you guys about that we're really excited about. First of all, by the time you guys listen to this, I'm sure we'll be already sharing, everywhere.
But in case you missed it,
we are part of the Geekscape network.
Guys, we're on a network right now. What?
Yes. We've been looking for a podcast network that we really felt like, would suit us and their followers and listeners would enjoy our content. And thanks to my friend Chris Fafalios, shout out, who is also on the Geekscape network with his show One Hit Thunder. We really figured that was kind of a good home for us, and it just was going to give us the opportunity to connect with tons more fans who were going to be into our content, connect with tons more shows that we can, cross
promote and
I was going to say pollinate. That's what I put in that email.
What a freaking nerd. Like, who says that?
Me. But anyway, we're really
pollinate. Are we insects?
Maybe.
Are we like blooming daisies over here?
We are desert flowers.
I know.
Don't.
Okay, sorry.
Anyway, we're really excited to be on the network. Shout out to Matt Kelly. He's been awesome to work with so far. So you guys
had a great fucking chat.
Yeah.
And that's guys, I hope we do get to pop on other people's shows and that you do tune in because they're just so fun and they're all really passionate about what they're doing. Mm-hmm. It isn't about the money for us, y'all. It's really about just talking about what we love and sharing what we can and having fun. And that's what joining this network, I think they are all about that. And everyone they host is going to be so fun. So if you're curious about listening into more podcasts, I think we're unique to where we can we talk about filmmaking, but I know there's a bunch of TV shows and film related,
there's all kinds of stuff. If you like our show, go check out their network. I mean, they have a Geekscape show, but then there's tons of other shows on their network too. So just Google them. They're the first thing that pop up.
Exactly. So we're so excited and just can't wait to keep expanding the community. Femme Fam, we love you. So that's really exciting for us. Yeah. And you guys, I hope you like our new branded icon. Because at this point, when we're recording, she's not ready yet, but she will be when
by
this comes out.
By
the time you hear it. Just trying to, incorporate a little more film stuff in there. And what else is new?
Let's talk about Backlot. Shout out to Noam Kroll. We love you.
Noam Kroll. He's been on the show. We've been on his show.
Show Don't Tell. That's his podcast.
Don't Tell. I said don't. Show Don't Tell. It's really good. He's amazing. He has an amazing blog. So first off, you should just go to his website, noamkroll.com, and then immediately go to podcasts and immediately listen to our episode. But after you do those fun things, he has a great independent filmmaking blog. He puts out LUTs on that website. He's so good at that color grading stuff that we have yet to become. We're working on it. But then he added this new thing this year called The Backlot. And it's a filmmaking community group. and we joined, and we're so freaking pumped, and like I'm loving it. I've had like 2 meetings so far, so it's a weekly meetup on Zoom with all the members, and we're all working towards a feature film. And I really love that because there's that sense of community that we've been lacking in 2020, and it's been hard to like, you can't meet with people. And yes, there's been Zoom calls, but this kind of group to really come together and all be pumped to create something.
Yeah.
It's a different vibe, and everyone on there like is like constantly in the chat box, like talking about who they are, what they do. So it's like not this awkward networking thing. It feels really easy to kind of connect with everyone on there and reach out, and everyone's just fucking cool. And they're from all over the place. But which is also like, if you are tuning into this from LA, it's not just LA based. They're like all over the world. As we all know, our listeners are also. So, there's community. You don't know, like if you're listening from Ireland right now, you might have a buddy in that film group. So the backlot is really cool. And he does giveaways and also has monthly industry guest speakers. He's actually having Elliot Grove, shout out to Rain Dance.
Yes.
We had him on our show too, and he is such a cool person, just gives the greatest industry advice, and he knows the film festival circuit route really well because of Rain Dance. That's where he's from. So like he's gonna have more guests like that on. And he does, if I didn't just mention this, I'm kind of blacked out right second. I think
blacked out on the back lot.
Exactly. Giveaways too. Like I think you have a chance to win this month. What's it called? That really amazing where you buy cameras and shit.
What?
What's cool too about networking with people, he's actually paired up with Black Magic to loan out cameras, which is huge. Like you can get a camera for what sounds like free loan while you're doing a project, and that's a huge expense that you would normally have to include on your line breakdown for a production. So, and that's the thing, you might like not everyone is a writer on there, so there's people trying to connect with other people, just to be part of that community. I thought was so smart of him, and the way he has structured the meetings, they're efficient. You're not waiting around, like it's very productive to the point, and everyone's just like engaged the whole time. So I'll say, because I was, you see a bunch of stuff out there to join these kinds of groups.
Yeah.
Not quite like this. Like Noam's definitely doing an amazing job, but just in general, I'm like, am I really going to get out of this, or I'm going to feel like a little fish, not like really getting much out of it? Like, I feel like this is not one of those places where you just feel like a lost voice, and it is going to continue to grow, but.
No, I think you're right, because I know we're a part of a couple different groups that you can post your profile on and connect with people and stuff, and I'm not going to shit talk any of those groups, because I'll be honest, like there's some that I'm sure have so much potential that I haven't even really explored. I've only signed us up for, but some are definitely have proven so far to be more efficient and more resourceful and more useful for us. And listeners, if you have any favorite kind of groups like this, let us know.
Yeah, we love being part of a community and like interacting with many people as we can and get in touch with, and especially if also you're new to the show, we're really about empowering women in this space and industry. So like we're of course part of Women in Film and
Women in Film, Women in Moving Pictures. Are we part of something else?
I'm sure we are, Tessa. BH Photo is that
BH Photo.
I think he's giving a gift card to that.
Cool.
So that's dope, which again, if you don't know BH Photo, they are really awesome about or B and H Photo. My bad. That's actually, but they're
B and H Photo. Okay.
Yeah, if you Google that, that's the actual store. Actually saw one in New York pop up when I was walking down, and I was like, oh my God, it's right there. But they're a really awesome website to go look up gear and purchase on because A, it's like not a sketch site, and yeah, maybe you'll get a better deal on Amazon, but it's worth checking out first because the reviews are really good. Like they have a really great description, and sometimes they do video demonstrations like on the website. I've been looking into getting an EOS R. Shout out to Michael Rubaio from Site B Studios.
All these people, I love them so much. Everyone we mentioned is like my favorite.
I know. I really love our people. We've chatted about that. It's Mike. I didn't like die. I still like am trying to get that, but hashtag unemployed, employed but unemployed. Like, don't want to purchase it yet, but like I saw great demonstrations on this website for gear, so check it out. They're really good, and it looks like they do deals too, so it maybe will be cheaper than Amazon at times. So definitely, if you're looking at like gear, that's a great website to use. So I'm excited that Noam partnered with this huge like website. He's partnered with Blackmagic and B&H to do things like this. It's amazing. So he's just such a kind, humble guy, you know, in general. Like he's just got a great energy about him. So
he's the GOAT.
He's the GOAT. We love him. And definitely check out the Backlot. It's, I think right now membership's about $30 a month to join. So it's an investment, but I think it's honestly,
affordable.
Super affordable.
Yeah.
It's so worth it. It's you're getting a lot out of it.
Yeah. And this then has catapulted us into what is probably going to be our first feature.
Yeah. Okay. How many of y'all love a good psychological thriller? Me. It's me. Here we go. Yeah, it's been a thing where Tessa and I have talked about constantly with our projects. Like, we need to do a psychological thriller one day. And this is my advice to anyone who gets ideas about a film. Write them down. Always write them down. I think, shout out to Corey McComb, who we had the show. He was someone who we've had and talked about this a lot too, where, you know, it takes off the pressure of having to do anything about it right then and there, but at least you have it written down to refer back to.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what happened with us. I got an idea spark last year. Somehow the brain was working, and for this psychological thriller. And Tess was like, girl, I don't know, time, money, is this the right move? I'm like, you're right. Like, I don't know, but she's like, write it down. I'm like, you're right. I should just like put it down, put it there. So it's there to refer to. And sure enough, when Noam was getting us started about our first feature talk, or to work on a feature, I referred back to it and I was like, this is so perfect.
Hey everybody, I'm Chris Fafalius, and I'm the producer of Krista Makes a Podcast and the host of the One Hit Thunder podcast.
And I'm Matt Kelly, host of Horror Movie Night and the producer / the head of content for the Geekscape Podcasting Network.
Between the two of us, we have, believe it or not, 25 years of podcasting experience, and we want to help you start your own podcast.
We know podcasting, and we want to share that knowledge with you.
So whether you're new to podcasting or you want some feedback on your currently active podcast, we want to help.
Or perhaps you're just overwhelmed with all of the editing work. Well, we can help you with that also.
You can contact us at info@weknowpodcasting.com for more information.
We're excited to help your podcasting dreams become a reality.
And for anyone too who's looking to create something this year, like, definitely, you know, you have to still think small because COVID is a thing. And if you're trying to do an independent project, like, making sure you can A, afford it, but B, keeping the crew small, you want to cater it to that.
Yeah.
Because
we're not, I mean, COVID's going to last a while, guys. Like, we could all be vaccinated and we could still be fucking not back to normal. So, like, you know, plan for that. Plan for something that you're going to be able to do with a minimal crew, a minimal cast, minimal locations, which honestly is smart anyway for money reasons, even outside of COVID times.
Yeah, I 100% agree. And like, we were talking about it. We had an IG live this morning with our people.
I know, right?
Whit Ingram, shout out. She has a workbook out on screenwriting that we are doing a giveaway at this moment.
At this moment we're recording. By the time you guys listen to this, it'll be over.
But
she could have some stuff coming up that we might partner for another giveaway. We'll let you know.
It's still available for purchase. I think it's like $15 and you get a digital download of it. So you can just print it out or have it on your computer saved. So great way to start your year too. If you're thinking of doing a feature film and writing one, this will help you get started. And what I love is we talked about keeping the story simple, but the characters complex.
Yeah.
And I think that would just having that in the forefront will really help you, not go crazy and produce come up with this crazy concept in this crazy world. And our world is set in the future, so not too far in the future, but we've figured out, okay, visual effects is probably where we're going to have to spend some money, but then everything else is it's just.
And even our effects are not that complicated.
Yeah. And it's really the main characters will be cast by yours truly, Femme Girls, Carolina and Tessa. Because again, if you're new to the show, we are actors first, and that's where our passion lies. And now we branched out and love a lot of things, but yeah, so we're keeping it so small, but really the complexity of these characters are what we're going to touch on. And Noam even talked about it in the group, thinking about your themes and making those really stand out, and that'll help you narrow it down. So it's not this crazy story where now you're wrapped in 5 locations and stuff. Think about your themes and your characters. I'm doing some research right now. Our themes are going to highlight psychopathy and narcissism because I think they're things that we've seen before in a psychological thriller, but not in maybe a very relatable way. And that's where we're going to explore through a friendship that kind of goes wrong, and there's self-discovery there within the protagonist. I don't want to give too much away, but that's where we're at.
Yeah.
And so I'm doing some really deep dive research right now, reading some fun books on it. And Tessa actually majored in psychology. So
I'm just a psych nerd. And I'm also a serial killer nerd. So I know way too much about this shit already.
I love
I've been
it.
Carolina, look into this and this and this.
Exactly. And I also kind of geek out about it too. So I love figuring out what makes someone tick. That's I always kind of deep dive people in that way, and I self-analyze all the time. If anyone's friends with me, we like to have those deeper conversations because I just think it's so fascinating. That's why I want to tell stories about that, and kind of through, of course, a female lens here with this relationship specifically. But I just think there's a really relatable way where it's not people just a psycho killer killing people. It's deeper than that, and it's more relatable in the way I want to go about it. So yeah, that's our project this year. I think it's going to be our big one that we're working towards. And again, I'm just so excited to be in a community where we're striving for that. And if you aren't, you're a part of the Femme Fam community, we're here to uplift and keep you posted. If there's questions you have, you can DM us. We're here.
And something else too, just to kind of circle back for a second, when you were saying about plan for something you can do in COVID times. Another thing is if you have an idea that you really want to do, but it's not quite COVID friendly, you can still start. You don't have to film this year, but write that script. Do the however many drafts you need to be perfect with it. Do your pre-production. Do everything you can up to actually hiring and scheduling, because then that's all done. That shit takes a long time. That's a lot of work. Get that out of the way now so that when it is safe to film, if you have crowd scenes or whatever the case is, then you're just ready to go. All you got to do is find your investors and cast your people, crew and all that. And you're ready to go.
I 100% agree. It takes so much time. And again, that's why we have this show, because we like to talk about our projects, but we also really focus on this doesn't happen overnight. Yeah. And again, that's why we started with the whole desert flowers, because it's still like to this point where we're like, okay, now we have actually a solid proof of concept like together that we can package. We're still Tessa's been doing a great job. She's always like my editor brain, going in through the script and concept, and like we're making sure that is a package. So when we are ready to pull investors into it, it's there. And like, especially if you're a producer, that's kind of like a known thing, is that you don't just have one project on hand, because if you go to some investors and they like you and they like your vibe, but you're like, I don't know, Westerns aren't really our thing, like for whatever reason, they're not like into that, you have something else in your back pocket, be like, you know. So we do have still the noir from last year, but that's another project Tessa and I were like, we love this so much, but we won't be doing it justice if we have it on a micro budget.
Yeah.
We meet, I mean, maybe, so a micro budget, fun fact, is anywhere ranging from like $10,000 to $100,000. That's kind of what the definition it is. It certainly can be less, but I've learned that then that means no budget.
Yeah.
Like if you're doing it less than 10 grand. So, I mean, maybe we can produce this close to 100,000, but we want something a little bit under our belts before we go to investors with asking for something of that kind of money. And I do believe we can do this film on a micro budget and make it really look.
Yeah. I mean, my goal for us, and I don't want to put a timeline on it because shit is crazy right now.
Oh,
like,
it's so
in the
unpredictable.
world.
You make
But-
plans and God laughs at them if
Right.
you learned anything.
Exactly. But like in the next few years, let's just say, is to have Desert Flowers proof of concept done. Desert Flowers script done, like fully ready to pitch.
Yeah.
Also, same with Cherka LaDonna, have our proof of concept done for that, have our script set for that, be ready to pitch. So we've got 2 projects that we've got, you know, our little proof of concept, but everything else is ready.
It's so solid.
and to
like,
have this feature done,
bam, girl, we be selling, we be distributing. Oh, billboards,
That's the dream.
everything. That's
Yeah.
no, I'm kidding. But
but that's
you know,
an attainable dream. Like that's something we could absolutely get done in the next few years.
Yeah. And it sounds like, I think coming into this before, it sounded like, oh my God, a few years. I think when you're starting out, that seems like a lot, but that's how much you have to love your projects. That's why it's important to choose something that really resonates with you, because that's how long it'll take. And sometimes, like we just watched, shout out to Emily Skye, produce a whole feature film this past year. She's also had a lot of experience of getting things off the ground though, running. And you have to realize like that worked out for her because I think she was at that skill and ready to like just send it off, and she was hustling. And so things can speed up for sure in the timeline, but don't put pressure on it. You know, like when it's ready to work out, it will truly like then just start going, I think. And that's what's beautiful about things working out when they're supposed to. It won't be such a struggle. And that's actually probably what I have also learned about 2020 is not, you know, you want things to work out so hard and you want to like push it. Cause I'm kind of a thoroughbred in the way I work, which is not, I'm working on working smarter and not harder. Because like, I just want to work and I want to make it like happen. And then you realize like at the end of the day, if it's not supposed to align for you just yet, you kind of have to let go, you know, and be okay with that.
Don't put pressure on yourself. Just start momentum.
Yeah.
You know, let it happen as it needs to happen.
And be happy and content with yourself. I believe like if you're psychologically struggling, you're going to struggle in your work too, you know? So just check in with yourself. That's okay to like breathe and like, you know, take care of yourself first. I think that's also the biggest takeaway of 2020. Like you're only going to do better. And that's why I feel like with this energy of this new year, I moved, y'all. I'm in a new place. I feel Tess and I have connected with so many great people. Like I feel the momentum. I really do. And it's taken time living in the discomfort a little bit, but sometimes we have to be okay with that too, because things will work out, you know? They have to.
Things will work out because they have to. That's the quote.
2021. That's 2021. And I truly believe that. I was like never like, I was definitely, you know, we all had our ups and downs of last year, but I was just like, I'm not gonna like not think I'm gonna give up on this.
Yeah.
Like, no, like it's too good. And
there was no giving up. We were never gonna give up.
no, and that's why we're here, just to encourage you, if you're still in that funk, to know it is gonna be okay. I know that's like, it can be cliche to like say that, but it is. And like, allow yourself to heal if you need to heal, because again, until you are feeling okay inside that energy, you do the switch, you will attract work. You will attract the right people to be in your circle. And I can only like say, like, that's why I feel so amazing, like, this month, and like just this energy. There's still so much that is constantly happening in our lives.
Yeah.
But it's like, you just gotta laugh it off too at the end of the day. Be like, okay. Like, in our middle of our meetings, my bed got delivered 5 days early, left on the middle of the street. And we have, okay, a little exaggerating there, but like literally was left like not in front of the doorway at all. And we had to take a pause, run there, get it. But you know, it's okay. It's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, not the timeline I was working out, but you know, that's just it. Like, shit's gonna happen. You're gonna laugh and just, it's okay. You know, we got the bed. You
move on, you learn,
yep. You know? And so that's just life. That's like, I just can't but just like laugh at things now when something crazy happens. I mean, God, it's still happening in 2021, crazy stuff, but we're just gonna keep rolling with the punches.
Exactly. And you know, guys, that's our updates. Let us know yours. We'd love to hear if you guys are creating or thinking about creating or whatever. Like, update us. We want to hear your shit too.
Yeah, we'll if you DM us of any updates on, like, you know, introduce yourself as a creator, like, we'll do our best to maybe shout you out on the show. Because I think that's awesome. We want to again keep that positive vibe of like, you can still create, and you should, because if we know anything, that is the best therapy when you're working on something. And I feel like, I was telling Tessa, I'm like, I forgot what it's like to have writer brain, because I'm like in another world half the time. And like, if I don't write down my schedule, I'm like just not on this planet at the moment, but I love it.
Meanwhile, my brain's like a fucking computer. So I'm like, Carolina, meeting today, 4:30. I was like, girl, you be the right brain, I'll be the left brain for right now. Like, that's the energy we're living in right now. So let's just roll with it.
And it's honestly awesome, because it's like a great space. So that's the energy we need to live in. That is the space we need to live, breathe.
That is the Femme Fam.
That is the Femme Fam. So on that note,
guys, keep an eye and ear out every Friday. We're gonna have lots more guests for you this season.
Oh my God, so excited. We have like so many guests, and we want to bring back some of our favorites that we even mentioned.
That's something we want to hear from you guys too. Who are your favorite guests? Let us know, because we're gonna start bringing guests back to just update us and you guys on what they've been up to. So if you have a favorite, let us know.
Let us know. Let your girls know. Oh yeah. Well,
but until next week, guys, stay inspired and keep the momentum going.
Yeah. Bye. Okay, bye.
Thanks for listening to Femme Regard Podcast. If you like what you hear, tune in every Friday for more tips on the filmmaking business and insightful conversations with industry professionals. We can only grow with your support, so please subscribe, share, rate, and review. You can also join the Femme Fam on Patreon. For more on us, check us out at femregard.com.
You're listening to the Geekscape Network.